Yo, Kaz here, and welcome to Wobbledogs. Now, if you caught the last couple episodes, we did a fantastic little game show here called Next Up Wobbledog, and congratulations again to the winner and all the contestants for making it as far as they did. But as you can tell here, I got a lot of cleanup to do. I kind of made a little bit of a mess of my world. Right now, I don't have any dogs in it, and frankly, I got to rearrange these rooms. But I figured, with that going on in the background, now is a good time here for me to revisit the history of Wobbledogs. Back in the beginning of time. I don't have a good narrator voice. But if you're not familiar, the creator of Wobbledogs, Tom Astle, has been working on it here by himself for quite a long time. Now, through the magic of research, I've managed to dig up some of the beginning phases of Wobbledogs here, and we're just going to go ahead and let my cleanup play in the background here while I read in Tom's voice. Okay, not Tom's voice. It's going to be my voice, but I'm going to read Tom's words here and show some of the very first looks at the beginning stages of Wobbledogs. I've been working on this game for just a little under a month now. The core gameplay is still sort of fuzzy because I'm trying to let the tech drive the specifics, and I'm not 100% sure what I'll be able to accomplish and what will be too difficult. But the main idea is that I want to make a monster raising game where you raise these little physics babies. I want you to be able to train them and enter them in different types of competitions and send them out on little excursions. Maybe you'll even be able to make them commit a crime for you. I've been really happy with the personality that's been coming through the motions I've got so far, and I'm not even close to having stuff polished and done. I'm also trying to evolve a lot of the behaviors and motions with the genetic algorithm. Reason being is that it once again gets more natural motion than I'd be able to tweak by hand, and it also gives me an easy way to integrate a breeding system and variety into different monsters and their behaviors/motions. I started with a box and some stick legs. Leg torque was controllable through the keyboard, and legs tried to keep themselves upright. It resulted in some neat jumping motions. After some more tweaks, I decided to add some body bend, and I got the thing to sit, which is when I was sold on making it into a pet you could train and play with. I played around with getting it to right itself when knocked over. And then things got really interesting. I'd always wanted to try out the genetic algorithm for something, and this seemed like a good use for it. I started with some stability tests to make sure my code worked. And then I moved on to optimizing its ability to right itself when knocked over. Afterwards, I played a little with limb strength and compensation. But I had some issues teaching these guys to walk. Ultimately, I realized I'd need to update their legs if I wanted them to move more naturally. A few mistakes were made. But eventually, things started coming together, and I even got some help from a friend on a graphical update. Of course, there were still a few kinks to work out. I realized the only reason that locomotion had been working at all was that I had at some point disabled X and Y rigid body rotation on the legs. That meant balance wasn't ever an issue, but turning was impossible and movement was extremely limited. Cue 2 weeks of banging my head against the wall trying to redo a ton of work in a more correct way. Just when I was about to give up, I had a breakthrough, and the walk cycle was back. I even got them stabilized with their more complex legs. Well, that's about it for now. I'm currently working on some more leg stability stuff, and pretty soon, I'm going to move into basic AI with some follow and seek behavior. Thanks for looking at my children, everyone. I'll definitely do a post on the genetic algorithm stuff at some point, hopefully soon. It's not as complicated as you might be thinking, but it's still pretty neat to me. So hopefully it'll be neat to you too. I'd like to get these guys taking little steps for stability as they start to tip over, and it's coming along, I think, though it isn't quite there yet. My first pass at this devolved into dancing, which is pretty standard for my failures at this point. But things started to come together a bit, and I've been happy with the results so far. I'm focusing very heavily on personality through motion, and I'm a little worried about the graphics undermining things. I think I'll want to stay fairly simple with them. It's easy to project emotions onto these box dogs because they're so abstract and you don't really expect anything from them. With more complex graphics, there might be a weird uncanny valley thing. Today, I played around with the boys some more. And then, I made them dislike having stuff on their backs. They'll buck to try to get whatever's there off. Polishing that up a bit also gave them the ability to untangle themselves after getting stuck in piles. I really like these little bucks, and I'm super excited to get in a few more layered behaviors like this. It's me again. I'm not talking to my Tom voice anymore. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I actually found all this really interesting here. So I wanted to do a video on it, but if you're interested in reading it for yourself, there is going to be a link in the description to this post. This post is actually from Tom way back in February of 2016. So, I mean, a long time before the, well, from when this video was made. But it's a really interesting glimpse, at least to me, at the beginning stages of Wobbledogs, what it took to kind of make it, some of the developers' insights as he was kind of making things here. I don't know, it gives just a lot of heart and soul behind, the game that we all love at this point. So if you enjoyed this video, it is a short one, but do me a favor and leave it a thumbs up and do consider subscribing to the channel. And also let me know down in the comments if you did appreciate this. And I don't know, if you want to see more videos like this in the future. It's not really like a docu-series type channel, but I'm always down to do things like this, if the community is going to enjoy it. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you so much for sticking it out to the end, and I'll catch you next time. Kaz out. Peace.